What's going on, guys? This is Todd. We're here at the BFA question answer session number 6. So we're going to do 2 of these every week. We're tentatively going for Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. Central.
Number 6.
Oh, hang on
so
one
we're
second,
gonna do 2 of
guys.
these.
I have the YouTube open too. Sometimes that'll run in the background, so you'll hear that as well. But okay, so today and tomorrow, not tomorrow, Thursday, what I really want to go over here is follow up, just the structure of this stuff real quick. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for a quick minute, show you 2 places to get more information for new people just coming on board watching this the first time. And then after that, we're going to hop back over here and take a couple questions from Ryan. And then I got a couple things I want to show you too about follow. But the whole structure of today, everything we're going to talk about today, all the systems we're going to go over today, it's all about follow-up. So, you know, if you don't have any questions, or if you haven't gotten to the point where the leads already come in, you have the information of the lead, and you're still trying to get those leads, maybe this isn't for you yet, but it's still a good refresher. This is mainly for the folks who have the leads, who want some kind of a follow-up system in place that would work with what they're currently doing. Cool, everyone? Ryan, cool?
Good.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that. So let me just go ahead and share that screen. So it's gonna present to everyone here. You should be able to hear me. And okay, so I wanted to show 2 different places to get information. I do this on most videos. I'll make it really quick. Number 1 is your course, right? If you have questions, I mean, this is a question answer session, and a lot of the questions that I get, and it's not your fault because there's a lot of content in here. But a lot of the questions that I'll get come directly from information in these courses. Like I had a question the other day about, do you have more information about the whip effect? Obviously, I put them in touch with one of the people in the group who has a whip effect mastermind group. But then I also had to direct them to this. So before I tend to see, and this is just in my my observation, is that there's like different stages of people during these while they're learning this, and when one thing doesn't click, people tend to get a little bit freaked out, and immediately they're like, well, I need help, I need information. But the whole point of this is you came here to learn a skill, a very valuable skill, internet marketing with your business. And my recommendation is just even if it seems like the answer is nowhere in sight, I'm sure it is. So, look here, look in the group, ask the group, right? So we've got the file section, which has a ton of great information. And we've got, of course, what's just under 700 people who are super active, super involved, and, are there to answer questions, myself included. So that's 2 things that I just want to go over. And I go over this every single time because I want you guys to know where to find stuff that you need. I'm going to hop back over to this and just do a quick, I like to look at the camera sometimes while I talk. So I'm going to stop presenting here. Okay, it's back on me. Okay, so that's where to get information, and that's where to get a lot of your questions answered. And if you can't find the link, by all means, reach out and be like, hey, do we have a link for this topic? If you can't, for whatever, basically, for whatever you need, reach out. But a lot of times the answer is already available to you, and you save a whole lot of time doing that. So that's out of the way. Again, what I want to talk about mainly is, follow-up, how we are like contacting and staying consistent with our leads after they come in. I talk about this in a couple of videos I do. Ryan goes really heavily into this thing. This is definitely a numbers game. There's no question about that. So, small numbers like your conversion percentages and stuff like that, that all matters to an extent, because at the end of the day, you want to know that it's not 0. You want to get, have some return out of it. But the end result, like the end all be all, is that, your main source of business is going to be from the pipeline that you build from this stuff, right? So, NAR says like there's like 300 days before someone's going to commit to buying a house on average. That means like some of it's right now. Like I ran a funnel a couple months ago. It performed pretty well. 4 of them went into contract right away, just from the get-go, because they're really ready and we did the targeting right. But that's not standard, and that doesn't usually happen. That hasn't happened to me before or since. So the main thing to consider, and the takeaway from that, is that that was 4. I wasn't planning on those. That's not the reason I ran the funnel. It's for the 37 other survey leads that I got, because I want to stay in front of them with a consistent follow-up that incorporates not just email, not just phone calls, but literally everything that you can possibly do to stay in front of that person. And I'm talking about retargeted ads. I'm talking about text message campaigns, incorporating texting into your campaigns. If you're sending, and for loan officers specifically, not for the real estate crowd here, but for loan officers, if you're getting leads in and you're sending them to real estate agents, have some agreed upon way to follow up with them. That you're going to know that you can actually rely on the fact these guys are getting their job done. Because I had a good friend of mine, one of the students here, was having some problems because he was sending out a bunch of leads to realtors, and the realtor said, yeah, we call in 5 minutes, no problem, and they just don't respond, but there's no real accountability and way to do that. And at some point, you end up losing a whole lot of money and time on people who don't perform down the pipeline, down the chain, and that's what we don't want to see. So this is for realtors and this is for loan officers. There's going to be some nuance I'm going to go over here, just bit by bit, as far as the different systems that you'll need. Like, for example, what we promise, generally what we promise these people is like a list of homes or insider information on homes or something like that. And there's two ways that you can get that done. The first way is if you're an agent, if you can have like an IDX subscription. You get an IDX on your Facebook for like $99. So you can do that if you're an agent. And that's one way to get them into looking at homes and delivering on your promise. And if you're a loan officer, you don't necessarily have to send your person to an agent if you don't want to. So, I mean, here's the thing. Sorry, I get thirsty when I talk. Here's the thing. If you have a relationship you're trying to build, send agents, because that'll help you build it. If you have a relationship you're trying to foster and you're trying to keep going and keep alive, send agents to that person, because it'll do that. But the one thing, and I especially with loan officers on my team here in Homes and Loans Done Right, I tell them this too, is that when you send leads off to a realtor, even if they're like your best friend, you have to have some expectation that you're not going to hear back from that person for a very long time or ever. Why? Because this lead could be right in that median readiness time frame of like 360 days before they're ready to talk about buying a house. And maybe your agent partner isn't following up for 360 days. Maybe they just don't have a system to do that. They should, but maybe they don't, right? So all this, like, the whole point of everything I'm saying here is that there are things that of course, as real estate agents, think this applies to you as well in a big way, but as mortgage people too, there's a lot that we can do to prime the pump, to do a little bit of follow-up before we hand them off, so we can do some cherry picking. Because at the end of the day, it's like it's great to foster relationships, but those leads at best are 90-day business. And the smartest thing to do with 90-day business is trade them to someone who has a system for returning that, in 90 days, but trade that for their 30-day business, which is what we kind of aim to do with agents we work with. We've got a couple guys on the chat right now. Just want to acknowledge you guys. We've got Mike, we got Rick, we've got Ryan. So how's it going, guys? Y'all doing good?
Awesome.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us. I know it's not super early, but it's early enough to mention it. So before I go any further into actually showing you guys like some systems that you can do you have any questions for me right now, or about follow-up, or just questions in general that you want me to tackle before I show you anything?
No, not really.
Okay.
Right. Even if there's, because I've been going through the BFA Digital, if there's a particular spot in there where there are already examples of follow-up funnels, you can point me to that. I can do all that follow-up myself instead of having you spoon feed it to me.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. The point is, it's not just the to have that follow-up thing, and by no means I'm trying to spoon feed it to you. It's just there's more to it than just the emails. And I'm going to show you how to integrate. For example, what I want to show you is how to integrate the text messages if you're using Aweber. Are you guys using Aweber for your email campaigns?
I use Infusionsoft.
Use Infusionsoft. Okay. Well, maybe this won't apply to you, but Aweber is a pretty popular one here. A lot of people are using Aweber. So one thing I want to show is how to integrate Callfire to send out an auto text when it comes in. So it's like at least you have that functionality, things like that, and ways to get content as well. So Ryan, maybe if you have questions you want to go over right now first before we do that, so you're not going to be sitting through something information you don't need.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So, Mike, what about you, man? You got anything you want to go over before we hop into it?
Can you hear me right now?
I can hear you.
Yeah. So is anybody using inside sales agents, like somebody else to supplement the calls? You know, like on a bigger scale. I mean, I understand about text and everything, but you know, nothing's better than the call. I'm just wondering if anybody has done that, because I'm thinking about doing it.
Yeah, you know, we've got a guy in the group, Aaron Cepeda. I'm not sure I'm saying it right. He's quite good. You know, ISAs of America, I'd reach out to him and see, you know, how people think about him. A lot of the people in BFA and some people in the tribe have hired him and have expressed good results. You know, I might try him out. There's Z-Buyer too, which is a different one that you can look into. Both are good. Which one are you thinking of?
Man, I'm open to it right now. I'm just literally thinking about it in these last couple of days.
Yeah, you know, so do some research on it and see, you know, what vibe you get to. And when you do these things, I've hired a couple of them. I stopped doing this because now I have like a small sales team. But one thing to consider is just get a sense of their process and how busy they seem. Because at the end of the day, if you're getting them like, you know, you don't want to be sending stuff to someone who's like doesn't even have time to talk to you on the phone. If they can't take your call to hire them, how can they take, you know, a client's call? But beyond that, you know, just see what kind of vibe you get, and then if you like them, you know, I say it's worth it. But then again, how many leads you get, and that they realistically have to be, you know, doing that as well.
Yeah, and it's a good point. Sometimes you know, I turn it on and I turn it off. I turn it off when I just can't do it in a meaningful way. You know, like when I get the person on the phone, I'm really good with the conversion. It's getting them on the phone. You know, like sometimes you call them in the morning. They say, call me at this time later on. I got 2 little kids that go back home, and I can't call them when they ask me to call them, and I got nobody else to make the call. So that, you know, that type of thing just happening over and over. And I'm thinking that my conversion is suffering, and that's what's making me think, like, you know, should I just go ahead and potentially go down this other route? You know, I'm thinking that the people could, you know, get the conversions. You know, I'm just looking for conversions to appointments. You know, because if I could sit down with people all day in the office, you know, that'd be ideal.
Yeah, you know, I think so. I kind of had the same problem for a while, and one thing that I did that, you know, seriously boosted my conversions. The phone call wouldn't even really do it, because with Agent Legend, which I still have them, I still think it's a great service. With Agent Legend, you get that voicemail and you get the email and the text message all at one time. So you can kind of track what people respond to. And I've never had someone respond to one of my emails. It's just my market. Maybe people get a lot of emails at Silicon Valley and stuff like that. I've never really had anyone like call me back, right? Because it totally could. But I always have people text me back right. If they're going to work with me, they text me back like right away, because the lead comes in, and then, you know, you can kind of schedule it on your own privately or an Agent Legend or whatever for the text message to go out like within 2 minutes, email 5 minutes, and you do that. And the text message is usually something short and conversational, not like you know, pushy, but just like, you know, hey Mike, Todd here from Hot Homes Temecula. What's the best way to reach you? You know, something like that. And then they'll usually say, you know, sell, you know, text, call, email, something like that. And then you just carry the conversation, you know, bit by bit right there. But that's that, you know, the majority of that. I mean, I don't have numbers in front of me, so I don't want to go and say like 80% of my sales or anything like that crazy. But the majority of my sales come from, you know, Facebook and ads and stuff like that. And the majority of actual conversations and conversions, it all comes from, you know, from the phone. You know, I've almost all the way. So like to incorporate immediate texting into what you're doing, that's going to be huge. That's going to give you the opportunity to, you know, get them right away and get them to respond to you right away. Absolutely. Mitchell, what's going on, man? How are you?
Good, sounds like fighting someone right now.
Mia, talk nice to Kate, please.
Mitchell, I'm going to go ahead and mute you, man. I apologize. That's not that I don't like.
Are you hungry? No, don't. Close it.
Sorry, Mitchell. Okay, so, guys, if we don't have any, if we don't have any other like questions beforehand, what I can do is like kind of get started on a couple things. One thing I want to show you guys how to do, and again, if you're using something like Infusionsoft, which is like for people who aren't familiar, Infusionsoft is like the holy grail of CRMs and everything like that. Some people call it Confusionsoft because it's so like so much stuff you can do with it, and it's like not super. But if you're using it and using it well, pretty much that invalidates everything that I tell you here, because it's like we're just basically putting pieces of here in a place where it does all the work. Again, it's hard to set up, but if you're using Aweber, like the majority of us are, you can still send out auto text if you want to with Qualifier. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. Okay. First things first. If you guys have any questions, do me a favor. Just shout them out or throw them in the chat if they're not like related to this. And as soon as I hop back here, we're gonna get to those. Okay. Just trying to develop a system through madness. That's about it. Okay. So present to everyone. You should all be able to see me here. Okay. I'm gonna hop back over here. I'm gonna close out on BFA and the digital program. So keeping current matters, I mentioned this sometimes, for people who are in real estate and mortgages, either one. This is a really cool thing. It's $20 a month, and you get a lot of content here. One thing I like to do when I build up my email follow-up, like my mailing list, is I like to pull as much of this as I can that's like relevant to my area. And then I like to write like a short blurb about it. So for someone who would like, because you can do this in your funnel, have someone opt into, let's say, new homes or something like that, or they say they want new homes. You can put them on a list that has all the stuff about new homes. You can have, there's June is home ownership month. That's a little bit dated, obviously, back when that came out. That would have been a cool thing to send out and ask what their plans are and things like that. Anyway, really cool, almost free, and not a bad. Just making sure I'm still live here. Can we do anything you're about to share with LionDesk? Yeah, absolutely. So the thing I'm about to share with you guys, LionDesk does this like innately. You don't have to have a separate integration in Zapier to get this done. So that's a great question, Mike. So yeah, in LionDesk, you can do this part by, you're in LionDesk here and you want to, you want to send a text message, or you want to schedule a text message. You want to send one, you just go right here. But if you want to schedule one, I'm sharing my screen, right? Y'all can see what I'm doing. Sometimes I just you see me looking at my screen intensely, and I'm just saying like, look here, look there, and I'm not like, anyway. So okay, you can go here and you can set up your auto drip campaign. The way you do that, if you check my previous videos, I just posted like a LionDesk thing. But if you check that out, you go here, you make a folder, make a template, you add in like an email template, you create your text template here, and you decide when you want to send out in the next section, which is auto drip campaign, set up like that. So yeah, I mean, it can be done. Just go ahead and watch the previous videos that I posted on LionDesk if you want to do this in LionDesk, and I highly recommend it. But for Callfire, which I think, and I could be wrong about this, but I think it's the best one to do, the best and the cheapest one to use, but again, you never know. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to make this Zap work. So your traditional Zap, let's say, get someone into Aweber. If you're doing lead pages, you don't need to use Zapier to get people into Aweber. It's an automatic, filters them right in. It's like an internal integration, I think is what they call it. So you don't need to do any of this stuff. But what you may want to do is like this. So let's say the system so far is lead pages sends your lead into Aweber and onto a list, right? As soon as they get on that list, what you can do is send them a text. So you go here, and assuming that the new subscriber, my account is that. If I'm going too fast on this thing, guys, let me know. But I just, I want to make sure people get this information in. This is the same way that you integrate Aweber onto Zapier, that you normally would. Now, what I do, I just pick the list that this person is getting sent to from lead pages. So if lead pages integrates to send them into local buyer list, right? What I want to do is I want to select that list here and select subscribed. You can do all, but subscribed is a little bit better because just in case. We'll fetch and continue. And then your actions app is going to be Callfire, right? Which is, you can sign up for it. I think it's free, but it's like 5 cents per text message or something like that. So it can add up. I think if you do the math on that, it's like 40 or 400 text messages is going to equal, I think, $20. So, but in any case, yeah, create a text message. You can write your message. You have to, obviously integrate your account here. Hey, name, thanks for, or not even that, just Todd here from Hot Homes of Temecula. What is the best way to reach you? And then you just drop their, should have their phone number in here as well, but because it's Aweber, you might have to take extra steps to get their phone number in there. Like, for example, I didn't take those steps and I don't have the phone field here, but I think you'd be able to do that otherwise. And if I'm wrong about that, let me actually double check that and make sure I'm correct about that. I'm trying to verify that. That we'd be able to get the phone number in there, because that's the important part right there. Usually we're able to do it. For example, if this works with Aweber. If you did this with Pipedrive, it works. Like, for example, if you have, like, when someone opts in, if you send them, does anyone use Pipedrive, or like is considering using Pipedrive before I go too deeply into it on the chat here, because I can answer specific questions on that. Okay, I have some questions here. Ryan Cook asked, is this an Aweber add-on or part of the Aweber package? It's neither. It's just standard Aweber, or Pipedrive, or any of these different things. It's just a standard version of that, but you just have a Zapier subscription, and then you can just get the from the standard information of Aweber, send that into your basic CallFire account. It's not like an integration that comes with Aweber innately. You have to do it externally here through Zapier. Yeah, it's a good question. Good. Okay. So, and I mean that's one way to do it. To get that done. But it's also, and just in the spirit of having constant contact with someone over a long period of time, I think it's really important to, plan to talk to this person for like a year, right? So and it takes some extra planning, it takes some extra writing and some content and stuff like that. But when you're getting in front of this person, let me get back to you guys here. Stop. I'm not showing you here. But when you, y'all can see me? I can see you? Okay, cool. But yeah, when you're staying in front of someone for a year, of course they might fold when they say, 3 weeks from now, it's like, yeah, let's start looking at properties, let's get pre-approved. But it might be, that 8 months out, that's the case. But the fact is, you get them on this drip that you take the time at one moment to write that thing out. And from that point forward, it's done. You put someone on that drip, the work you've done will reflect on that person, on every single person from that point forward. That's how you can deal with 10,000 leads just as easily you can deal with, like, let's say 100 leads. If you have a system in place where you only have to actually physically pick up the phone and deal with people who have gone through your funnel and express that they really need to talk to you and what their time frame is. So it seems like we still have questions about what I showed you on Aweber, because when you guys want to unmute yourself and ask me, so I know what you're talking about here. Either of you guys. Mitchell, if you want to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask.
Hey, so can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Okay, cool. So what Ryan asked, so is this just part of the Aweber package, or is it an add-on? I'd like to know that as well. And then also, is this kind of like another workaround for, rather than using like lead digits?
So question one, it's part of the standard Aweber, because all you're doing is the program and integrating it with Zapier, right? So in a sense, like, you do have to have Zapier, know how to use Zapier to make this thing work. You do have to have a CallFire account as well, which is that program. You have to sign up for CallFire. But no, they're not like related programs. They're just two separate programs that'll, when integrated, get the one thing done.
But it more or less does the same things that like lead digits is going to do, right?
It does in a way. The lead digits, I think, I'm not versed enough in lead digits to make a statement about this definitively, but I'm pretty sure that they just send the first text message back when they respond. I'm not sure if they can text message fast go in with the game, right? Which is what you want to do at some point. You want to get that first text message out, but you also, for example, every 2 weeks or something like that, you still want to send them a text just to let them know you're thinking about them here and there, because that's one touch, and if it's automated, all the better for you, and people respond to that. So while lead digits, I think, will do that first one there, I think you may still want to work on something that can, like, And the goal here is to integrate the texting into your long-term drip, not just to have it go out, if that makes sense. But yeah,
sure.
we'll do that first in this text. In fact, instrumental and frankly badass, if you got a card tap app from Dana, I have one. That lead digits is huge for that because that's like the best way to get that out there. It's trackable and things like that. There's free solutions to it also, but lead digits is also good for something like that. But not so much in the of like long-term drip campaigns with text, I think.
So could I use, I forget what it's called, call fire? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So could I integrate the same way that Ryan teaches to integrate lead digits with your app? Can you also do that same thing with call fire?
Yeah. So let's say, for example, well, actually, I'm not sure because you eventually want that, text 44222 to to text closer to 44222 to get this app. I'm not sure if Callfire lets you text in to get a text back like that, right? So I think lead digits might still be the best option for that one. I know it's not really like a full-on answer for what you're looking for, but that's kind of the best I can do because
that works.
You know what I mean? So it's sometimes with these licenses, you have to double up on stuff you feel like you don't need, but you kind of do just to get that one thing, working and integrated and things like that. AJ, how you doing? We got Alex Jimenez on the call here. He's muted out, so obviously doing really well. Okay, so for Alex who just coming in, what we just kind of went over was a way to integrate text messaging with Aweber. If you use Aweber, if you've gotten on the Lion Desk kind of hype, that'll do that for you, I think. I'm not going to go ahead and show it a second time, but it's just a matter of getting Callfire here. If you've gotten on the Lion Desk, go into Zapier and just setting up with what's happening with your. For example, if you guys are using Pipedrive, like I was saying, just replace literally Aweber. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing because I'm not sharing my screen. I do that sometimes, but literally replace a Pipedrive with Aweber here. Present to everyone. Let me know if you can see me. Where I have this here, this whole thing about sending the automatic text message out, any place where you collect the phone numbers, right? If you get if you use Typeform or Wufoo, right, where people get a Wufoo, you can send out a text message where if they fill out your Wufoo, you can say, new entry, my account, inside scoop information survey. I think that's the one I did. Fetch and continue. Okay, you can do this. And send out a template here, instead of saying this, you can say, hey, does this one ask for hey, first name, thanks so much for filling out the survey. Here's the next step. And then you just, you continue on with your funnel with your pitch right there, integrate that together, right? You select her number. You select her number there. And obviously what you want to do too, guys, when you get a number on Callfire, go ahead and splurge a couple bucks and getting a real phone number, because I think that we can all agree getting a call from this phone number, 67076, I would probably delete that and report that person like immediately. So just be cognizant of that. You can buy a number in your area code. Guys in Nashville, you can get like a 615 or whatever you want to do there, and just plug this in. Is that clear, guys? Can you all see what I did there? Like how that works and how you can do that with literally anything, Pipedrive, just auto text, that first text message. I know it sounds like it's a really small thing. Like it's not that big of a deal to send out one text as soon as they come in, because it's like, well, whatever. It's like I sent out emails, I think like that. The emails, it just in my experience, like, I don't think I write horrible emails because I don't write emails. I copy Ryan's emails, and people don't respond to those. I'm sure they read them. I'm sure they like them. That's why they eventually talk to me, because they're like, oh, this guy's a good sense of humor. Really, Ryan has a sense of humor. I'm just copying the shit. But the point is, it's always the text message. The text message promotes urgency. They see it. I think it's like 96% of people will see a text message and 90% will respond to it or read it or something like that. I'm not sure. I think it's read it. Point is, you get that first thing out there as soon as they opt in, while it's like it's still and fresh in their brain. Within 60 seconds, if you can do it, hopefully within 5 minutes, within 60 seconds, you're golden. Get that going, and your first thing that's going to go into their head is going to be, okay, this person, basically I have to answer this question here. Oh, so we got questions here on the side. Sorry, I got sidetracked because I saw writing here. I get ADD. But the point I was trying to make, you guys get it, is that this text message is going to be huge in getting people to respond to you like right away. You know, because I can, you guys can't even see it, but I used Agent Legend for quite a long time, so I've got I mean, this is proof in the pudding here. I wonder if they'll tell me everyone who's responded to me or something like that. No, they won't. But I've basically gotten so many people to respond to me, which is when I get these notifications, Agent Legend. They started doubling up the phone numbers, right? So it's like I would get a text message from this number right here when someone named like John Smith opted in, and I'd get another one like several weeks later with someone named Robbie Cook. And that's because they only have a set number of phone numbers, and they're just circling through because people are opting into or like responding to this, and they're not responding to anything else. That's why that's getting cycled out like that. So yeah, text. You have to include text. I think for the folks here, AJ for sure. God, I think Mitchell too. And Ryan might. But for people who you know, have taken phone funnels or got the premise behind phone funnels, like I said, are using an app or something like that, you know, that's in a sense what he teaches is that, you know, texting is where it's at, and texting with value is where it's at too. A lot of people will, you know, say that video is the future right now. Like video is what is getting people to respond. Not to keep pushing one particular piece of software more than I need to, but LionDesk does video emails. It does video texts, right? Just straight from the thing. You can blast that. Like, let's say you have like 200 people who've opted in, and maybe your follow-up hasn't been super hot because you're just getting started with it, and you got all these leads. You can plug them in right there. You plug them in. I'll show you how to do it. But you can just go ahead and send them all like a video text. Say, hey, what's up, guys? Todd here, or you know, AJ here, Mitchell here. You know, just wanted to let you guys know I'm still thinking about you. This is a big thing that happened to me, and I look forward to talking to you soon. And, you know, I mean, even if it's like kind of nonsensical and it's not like, you know, you don't want to make excuses for why your follow-up hasn't been good. Obviously, you want to just kind of like, you know, let them know you're still thinking about them. You know, just doing something like that can boost your conversion ratio back up over time, get people back into the fold. So I would recommend it. You know, I definitely would. Mitchell asking, okay, so Mitchell has a question here. He's saying, what does LionDesk run price-wise? You know, it's $25 a month base. I recommend getting video texting for $2 a month extra, and your own area code phone number for $2 a month extra. So it's like, it comes out to, I think, like $30 a month. And then if you're the kind of person who likes to make your agents, frankly, I'm embarrassed to say it, but I don't make my own cold calls anymore, but likes to have your agents make the cold calls for you, or just someone, you know, someone is, you know, doing that. They have a power dialer there as well. That's a little expensive. It's like $50 a month. It's cheaper than most power dialers I've seen, but if you're running through like massive amounts of you know, phone leads, and, you know, Mike's no longer here on the chat, but like he said, there's nothing that really beats a phone call. So if you think you can get them on the phone, there's like a, you know, list of them. And or even better than that, if you've got like an hour to block out that you know you're going to reach out to your leads, and you know like a portion that's going to be on the phone, just, you know, pick the time, go in there, tap it in, you can just make that happen. But the whole point of this isn't to like sell LionDesk, right? That's not, I'm not here to like like talk about why LionDesk is amazing. It's mainly just the fact that it has tools in it that help with the follow-up, that help the follow-up get done properly, and so you're not working twice as hard. I think that's why, you know, that's why people I think have a hard time with follow-up, is because it's hard work that's super organized, and you need to you know, be on point for, you know, many different people. So follow-up, natural follow-up over the phone, I think is you know, more and more of a challenge as we get more and more leads in for us as professionals. Another thing, tribe member Stacy Stanley, loan officer, MFBA, like fantastic, really great person, made an excellent point about these follow-up systems. She said that, you know, if your follow-up is not good, right? If you're naturally poor at follow-up, you don't have that, you know, aggressive, you need a system to compensate that for you. And Agent Legend is one that does that. By the way, guys, on the call here, Agent Legend is it's really great. It does everything I was talking about before, with like all this piecemeal system you have to build, but you don't have to piecemeal it. It just gets it done. Simple as that. You can ask questions about that in the group, and they'll be able to tell you. But the good thing about Agent Legend is that if you don't have a whole lot of time to do anything yourself, that's perfect, because let's say somebody responds, you don't want to keep them on the same drip, so Agent Legend will pull them and then put them on, like an unsubscribe list, so you can throw them into your own drip campaign. So it's cool in that way. It's pretty cool in that way. But if you're the kind of person who wants to have some personal touch, who wants to look at the phone a little bit, who doesn't mind the sales call, or who likes it, by all means, you can use these systems like Pipedrive and Infusionsoft, like to whatever extent that you want to. Just make sure you're doing what you're doing it in a way that you can actually profit off of. You're not just like, because one thing I made a mistake. I was like, well, I don't want to talk to people. That was lazy, and I didn't make a lot of money doing that. So that changed really fast. Okay, so that's enough of me just harping on about why it's good to follow up, because I think y'all have heard my voice long enough. It's only been 30 minutes. So does anyone here have any questions about anything I've said, or just general questions you want me to go over? I've got like another 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour if time permits. So don't be shy. Anything you guys have laid on me, put it in the chat here or say it out loud or whatever. While you do that, in fact, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm going to go refill some water. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. All right, guys? 1 second. Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for waiting. So looks like we got some questions here, both in the group and in the chat. So let me just hop over to the chat real quick, guys. Some of their questions here. I saw Ryan's question about a good mix of follow up there. So let's see. Okay, so yeah, well, a lot of them. Okay, so one question is how do you integrate Aweber and Agent Legend? Okay, that's a good question. So Ryan, let me just answer this because I have Zapier open here, and then I'm going to get to your question here, which is more of a kind of a philosophical, theoretical one, right? There's no one right answer, but there's certainly, like, I'm sure we've all seen like plenty of wrong answers, wrong ways to market. So, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen to you guys one more time. Screen share, entire screen. Okay, cool. I'll present to everyone. Very cool. Okay, so you go back over here, and Lindsay Elliott asked this question. She's watching along, I think, on YouTube or something. How do you get Aweber or frankly anything to integrate with Agent Legend? And the way that you do that, first thing you have to do is send an email to I think. No, I don't even think you have to. I think he got it set up, but you used to have to send an email to Costas. But now if you just go to agentlegend.com, you can all see my screen. You log into it. You can see some embarrassing funnel performance because I have not run a funnel in a long time. Yikes. That's painful. You should never have less than 100 leads coming in at any one time. That's the way I feel about that. But if you want to do a new campaign, fast response prospects, select prospect source. I think Zapier's on here. Yeah, Zapier right there. And select prospect source. And then you click this invitation link right down here. And you accept the invite, right? And then now that it takes you to Zapier, but now that you're here, all you got to do is, you know, okay. So if it's like you want to go Aweber to Agent Legend, you go Aweber, new subscriber, save and contact, my account. Account ID, this is what you have to do for every single one. It's super fun. Let's say they get on local buyer, right? Only when they subscribe to it. Do fetch and continue. Continue. And then now you have Agent Legend. Now you just type in Agent Legend and it's right down here. See that? And you just set this up. It has all your campaigns in there. You know, it's like, yep. So that's not mine. That's mine. It has all your campaigns, like your VA buyers. If you built one here, you know, you just input it as you would. So, you know, choose your campaign. Choose the email address that you got from Aweber. Again, first name, last name. Always do first name, last name. Why? Because sometimes you want to write an email and it's going to say, that, you know, hi, Todd, or hi, Lindsay, or hi, Alex. And you don't want that to say, hi, Todd Holland, or hi, Alex Jimenez, because that sounds like you are. I always picture someone from a different country trying to scam me when someone says, hi, Todd Holland. I don't know why it is. I just could be the only one who feels that way, but you know. And again, with this particular list, sign up list, there's no phone number here, unfortunately. I never put one in. So, but there normally is, like right here, it says phone number, whatever, or mobile number, whatever you put in the sign up form in Aweber, right? Again, that's like that's not my Aweber list. That's like a tutorial Aweber thing. So it's not gonna have everything that a normal list would have. But you know, for this one, you just, you know, instead of region, it'll be her phone number, person's phone number, birthday. I don't think we need that. Oh no, that's cool. So okay, Agent Legend has these new things where they have like birthday campaigns and stuff like that. So no, there's no real way to get that in here. But anyway, you just go continue, and then, you know, create and continue, and then you just hit finish, and then you have, you know, Aweber hooked up to Agent Legend. You know, you can hook up just about anything to Agent Legend this way. If you have you know, if you have like Facebook lead forms, like the lead ads, I know a lot of people run those nowadays. You can do that too, just as easily. You know, you just choose the account, choose the trigger, et cetera, et cetera. You choose your page, also choose your page, choose your form. Sorry, you choose your form, continue, you know. And you're going to have to redo part of this thing now because, again, your email and everything like that is going to be good. The only thing here, the phone number now, this one I know has a phone number because I remember I made this form. So you just, you know, have the phone number there and you just go ahead and continue. And so whatever your landing page is, what I'm trying to say is, like, if you have lead pages, if you use, lately I've been using Convertry and like I fucking love it. I think Convertry is like the coolest thing in the world. I use that right now, and it integrates with that using Google Forms. Pretty much anything that you can put into Zapier can get into Agent Legend. Anyone that you can get into Zapier can get an instant text message, instant voicemail. You just have to have the right service for it. And that's the whole point. You know, there's two kinds of follow-up, right? I'm going to go back to this because I don't think I have anything else here. I think this ties in loosely to Ryan's question as well. There's two kinds of follow-up, right? There's that first short-term follow-up, which it's like 2 weeks. Some people say 1 week. I say 2 weeks, like 14 days of fairly aggressive contact, not like annoying, not like a pain in the ass, right? But it's like, you know, maybe over the course of 14 days, send out like 4 or 5 texts, you know, maybe send them an email every other day or every 3 days. You wouldn't normally do that like over the course of a whole year. That's insane. But in the first 2 weeks, you really want to get people to respond, right? In that first branch time. So so that's your first one. I think Agent Legend is really good for that first blast of a campaign. It's good for anything, right? But I think it's really good for that. But you also have to have some contingency thing in place for your long term. Your long term starts like 2 weeks out, and that's going to go for like a year or 2 years or whatever you can manage to you know, build and make an email list. We got another person on the call. Lindsay Elliott, how are you? Good? You're muted, so good. I'm assuming you're good. Okay, so and Ryan, that's kind of there's no perfect formula, right? You know this, but there's no perfect formula. But the first, a good mix, I would say, is the first thing to do is hit them with the text message. As soon as they opt in, get their mobile number in their opt-in in the lead, hit them with the text message. Short, conversational, just to the point. How can I get in touch with you, or something like that. Then as the conversation kind of grows with that, or if they don't respond to that, another text message maybe the next day or 2 days out. But that same day that you sent the first message, also send out a slide dial. So who here doesn't know what a slide dial is, right? A slide dial is, I got people fighting. I'm throwing hate around on my safe space, which is this chat here, which is fantastic. But so slide dial does something cool, which again, with Agent Legend, you don't need to worry about any of this stuff, but it sends out a voicemail directly to your prospect too. So it's like, you didn't have to necessarily call the guy and pick up the phone and all that stuff. All you really had to do is, in your voicemail, I always say, hey, this is Todd from the Facebook groups. I've got like 5. I don't know which one. The Facebook page. I should say page, but I say group. Someone else. Anyway, I say the Facebook group. I'm so sorry. I always say, I'm so sorry I missed you. So it's like I actually did call them. It's like, oh, shoot, I missed you. Like, I'm so sorry I missed you. And then, please give me a call back, blah, blah. Get that out there, all 3 of those on the first day. And then just do something alternating for about 1 to 2 weeks, Ryan, 1 to 2 weeks. And then once that's not working and you realize this guy's not going to talk to me, then just throw him on your drip that has like the weekly or the bi-weekly newsletter. Because at the end of the day, it's like he might know someone, he might not. It doesn't cost you anything to keep him on a long-term drip, but hit him hard for 2 weeks. I got people. I'm sure Alex probably disagree with me on 2 weeks. Probably say 1 week is better because you don't seem like as much of a jerk, frankly. But I don't mind. I mean, I hit them with 2 weeks of pretty aggressive, and then I start them on the drip one way or the other once they get on there. And to the point again. I don't want to belabor this too much, but again, it's a matter of, if you feel like you're not going to be following up, even with the tool like LionDesk, with Aweber, or with the automatic text message, like if you feel like you're not going to be following up, okay, Alex, the response was, I do whatever Hancock has automated for me, and yeah, that's I would too. So, and we'll just leave it at that. Definitely, yeah. So. Okay, so that's kind of my main point. I think we're kind of pretty close to 9 o'clock here anyways. I got 10 minutes left for you guys. I got more, but at least 10 minutes I'm going to sit here and do my time talking to you guys and answer questions. So does anyone have any questions about anything? Not just follow-up, preferably follow-up because we're talking about that this whole time, but anything just that you're having trouble with or you want clarified. This is the time to unmute yourselves, guys. This is the moment. Man, you guys are exciting. You guys don't know this about me. I'll just sit here until you guys talk to me. I don't have any shame or embarrassment in that. I'm cool. Alexa, play Panda.
Panda explicit by designer.
No questions? Nothing? We're good?
So you're just that smart that everybody got everything they needed to know out of that whole presentation.
Alexa, that's enough. Yeah, everyone must be. Oh, Lindsay has a delay going on. See, I've been living my whole life with one of those, a delay. I don't know how I managed to cope with it, but it's barely noticeable anymore, I think.
Lindsay lives in the hood, so the internet service out there isn't that great.
Oh, the hood. Okay. That's okay.
The projects.
Somehow I doubt that. Number one.
I'll take a picture of her house. You'll see.
Okay. All right. Post it in the group, please. Appreciate that. All right, guys. I mean, that's cool. So that's basically, that's it with the follow-up here. I'm going to go over follow-up one more time on Thursday. Alex and Lindsay mainly. I'll ask you guys this privately. I'm not going to ask it on here, but I have a couple questions regarding scheduling here for these things. I want to keep these going for as long as I can, but I want to make sure they're working time-wise for everyone. I know that some people have different obligations with tribe and things like that, so I want to make sure that I'm definitely getting everything. Okay, yeah, Lindsay has a bit of a delay. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm getting everything answered for you guys. So listen, after this, feel free to comment on that thing. Feel free to send me a friend request or send me a message if you need any help with anything at all, CRMs, this, follow-up, funnels, anything. And we'll get this thing done. If not, I'll catch you guys on the other side on Thursday, same time. Okay, take care, y'all. Bye.